How many deer did we see? 100. Morning, folks. It's 4:30. Getting ready to head out to the tree stand. Just made some eggs. I gotta put my jacket on and whatnot. Bundle up. It's about 33 degrees this morning, I think is what it said. It's pretty cold. So at any rate, I'm bundling up, put some layers on, hoodie and thermals and my jacket. All should be good. But yeah, I'm gonna get in here, try this new spot. It's not a new spot. Just if you remember, yesterday I moved my stand over on the other side of the draw. So I'll check that out and see what I think. And I think I might bring my bow next weekend, just because it's a tight little spot there. I'll check the yardage from this new stand this morning, but I think it's probably within 20 yards. Probably a little overkill with a rifle, but of course I can see the field behind me. As Chris said when I was talking to him before, like, yeah, that'll be the time that deer walks out in that field and you don't have the rifle. True. So, at any rate, I'm going to head out there and get set up, see what happens. Well, good morning. Sun's up now. We're about an hour into legal shooting light. It was an active morning up until about first light. Walking in, I thought so yesterday I came down past the barn and then walked around the point, but I jumped that deer down below the barn. It was down in the field, so and then I jumped a couple in the bean field, so I went down wide down the driveway into the bean field and then hooked around the point here. And I had marked a spot yesterday when I moved this stand here on the bean field, so that I could get in real easy. It's not super easy, but it's easy enough, and it's short. That way I'm not walking the whole way through the woods. Just kind of a straight little shot in. But I heard something when I came around the point. I heard something in the field, and it sounded like it was just someone walking. It wasn't running. It wasn't spooked. It sounded like someone walking through the bean field, heading, I think, down into the woods here, where I'm at. But I definitely heard, once I got up on the side of the field here, the tree line here, there was all kinds of movement down here. There was a bunch of deer moving around down here. So I sat and listened for a while to kind of see what they were doing. It's not like they were moving away or even closer. It almost sounded like they were just in here browsing. So I sat and listened for a little bit and then made my way in. I was able to just go real slow, creeping in here, get up my stand. I didn't spook anything. I got my stand. They were still doing whatever they were doing. And like as the sun started coming up, they got quiet. I don't know if they moved off or if they're bedded down over there. They could be bedded down 100 yards away. Who knows? But then right at first, it was actually 5 minutes before legal shooting, when I had a doe behind me, to my right in the field here. I tried getting some video of her, but it was still too dark, even for the camera. Wasn't able to get any video of her. And then I had a fox come down the side of the field. I'm gonna try to get. I think I got him on video, but I got my smaller lens on because this area I'm in is pretty tight. My big lens doesn't. It's too big. And I didn't want to swap out my lens and spook anything. So otherwise, I might could have got some better video. But I think those deer I saw last night, and then that doe here this morning, that's all. I mean, there was 10 total deer, but as you saw, I mean, I had the 5 deer come out as the 2 spikes and the 3 does. And then they went back in for, like, they were only out for like 10 minutes, and they went back in. They kept looking up the hill, not towards me, but up, up along in the bean field. Something that, I guess there was something they didn't like. But they ended up going back in. And so I don't know if it was the same ones that came back out, because they came out in different places, especially the 2 that came up out close. So it may have been, some of them may have been the same, some may have been different. So it was upwards of 10 deer. Legally, because I'm military, I could have shot those, one of those spikes. But they were just young deer, young spikes. I'm not really interested in doing that necessarily. Not that desperate yet for meat. I'm working on it though. But they, because Pennsylvania, at least this area in Pennsylvania where I'm at, it's a 3 on one side rule, so counting the brow tine, so it could be a fork on one, with a brow tine, that's 3. Whereas like 3 up would be 3 of not counting the brow tines, or 3 on the main beam. There are some areas that are like that. So legally, I could have shot them, but they weren't really very mature deer. Those does, on the other hand, that would have been nice. But, oh well. Next weekend. Next weekend, doe will be open. It'll be doe and buck next weekend. So, well, next Saturday, no Sunday next year. Or next weekend, sorry. So, we'll see. For right now, I'm going to sit here and listen. Drink my coffee. And see what happens. Tasty. Well, that's it. Got 9:30. Gave it 3 hours of shooting light. And nothing. I mean, I heard all that movement, before daylight. And then I saw that doe out here in the field, but that's it. Well, on the fox. So not any other activity. Nothing else moving around. But I don't know. Try something different. Wish I could shoot some does, because if I could shoot does, I'd be tagged out on does right now. That'd be pretty nice. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. There's bucks around. I know there's bucks around. But I mean, that sign down in there where I've been sitting in the morning, that's a pretty recent sign. It's not super old, so. But one of the things that's killing me is the moon. I came out this morning, and it's almost a full moon. I came out, last night it was like, moonrise was at like sunset, and moonset was at sunrise. So I came out this morning, and it was plenty light this morning when I came out. So that doesn't help. They're out here feeding these fields all night. But I don't know, it's pretty cold. It was, I don't know, it's like 33 degrees this morning when I walked out. So maybe they'll get up moving around. It's supposed to warm up into the 50s though. It's actually starting to warm up pretty good right now. Anyway, I'm thinking about moving my climber. And maybe even sitting that tonight. We'll see. I may sit that tonight. Try something a little different. Either that or go back over by the wagon, but I don't know. I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet. I'm gonna take a look. So, at any rate, let's see what I can figure out. Catch up with you.